Welcome to the Black Bear Podcast.
Join host Ho-Ho as he discusses the riveting Netflix original series,
Black Mirror. Now, here he is, Ho-Ho-Ho.
Welcome to Black Mirror Podcast. How y'all's doing? I hope you're doing good. I really do. So today we're going to be talking about, well, it's a bonus episode, actually. The movie Bandersnatch was a 2018 movie that happens between seasons, or at least comes between season 4 and season 5. So I'm putting this as bonus content for season 4. And this is just, I tell you what, it's an amazing concept. It really is. Because this is an interactive experience where you, the viewer, decides where this whole thing's going. Now, it says that this is like an hour and a half, but I tell you what, I did some playing around with this. Basically, I viewed it once, but there was some playing around, some things that I did. And yeah, let's just say I took notes. All right. I took notes, and holy crap, I'm glad that I did. I originally intended on just, using my fingers to count how many choices that I had to make through this interactive experience. And boy, howdy, am I glad I wrote them down. I mean, man. Had to take a drink. But yes, I am very, very glad I had to write it down. Now, before I actually get into this episode, this was actually, it's not a 100% new concept, as in a viewer-guided experience with a movie. I'm pretty sure this has been done in the past, with a streaming service. I don't recall the movie itself, but I'm almost positive this has been done. And I know that it has been done at least once, kind of, sort of, in a similar fashion, with the movie Clue. This was a movie that was originally done on VHS. And let me actually get, let's see. Here we go. Clue, the movie. All right, so this was actually, a 1985 film that had, what was the guy's name? Tim Curry in it, okay? And this was also a board game. It was a whodunit type of a board game. Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick, or, so-and-so with the rope and what have you. Christopher Lloyd was in it. Michael McKean is in it. Martin Mull was in it. It was an awesome movie. Now, in the VHS, is what they did is the entire movie was basically kind of open-ended in a couple different places. And at the end, they played like 5 different possibilities on the ending as far as who done it. This person did it here with this weapon, and there you have it, But whenever the movie was released on DVD, it was pretty stinking cool because it actually gave you the ability to choose which ending you wanted to do, and then they inputted some stuff and played the ending, and it was actually pretty comical. It was neat how they did it. Okay, different viewing experience from VHS to DVD, because VHS, you had to watch every single one of the possibilities on the endings. DVD gave you the option to choose. So it was actually pretty cool. So I was kind of going off of that standpoint, as in there's not going to be that many different choices. But whenever I got into Bandersnatch, holy crap, it was not very long before the first choice was there. All right, now just to give you an idea. Now, again, this is a little bit of playing around, a little bit of having fun, a little bit of messing with it, and a holy crap kind of a thing. But I made 37 choices, 37 decisions, 37 times when I steered this story, this movie, one way or the other. Yeah, you heard me right. And there's like at least four that I didn't put in here. So, like 40, 41 times that I made a choice on where this movie was going. And this wasn't going back and making different choices. I mean, there was instances in here where it was like, okay, you failed. Do you want to go back to this point and make a different choice? And it gave you that option, and that's where it kind of not really starts again, but because of the choices you make, you put yourself into an ending that isn't really there. And then you can continue the story by changing this one decision. And not every single time whenever you go back is it the same A and B options. I found that one out as to where, you play it through one time and it gives you this option or this option. But whenever you go back, they change the options to where it's not as simple this or that whenever you go back to it. It's that or this. And it's like, dude, that actually kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. I ain't going to lie. It threw me for a little bit of a loop. Now, this thing is, to say that it was an intriguing episode, holy cow, guys, I highly recommend, doing the same thing that I did. Watch the movie, pad of paper, keep track of your decisions that you make and which way you decide to go, and then go back and watch it again to see if you can, change the outcome, change a few things. But there's something that was talked about in this movie that really leads me to believe that no matter what you end up doing, you're always going to wind up where you do. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk about the movie a little bit, all right? Spoiler alert, obviously. Y'all know what you're getting into whenever you come to Black Mirror Podcast. Y'all know that we're going to be talking some stuff and that there's going to be some spoilers. Y'all know this. This ain't nothing new. So here we go. This movie starts off with a kid who's, well, let's just say he's developing a game, okay? And it's a game where it is an interactive video game where you make choices, kind of like, the old, and this is kind of what it reminded me of, like the old Oregon Trail. You do this, you don't do that, yada, yada, blah, blah, kind of older graphics, but it was an interactive kind of a thing, and you choose what it is you're going to do, okay? And in designing this game, he gets bogged down in the details because he wants this to be a true to form video game that is based off of a book. I didn't mention that before. This game, what is it called? What's the game called, you ask? I'm glad that you did. Bandersnatch. I had to look at that again. But it was based off of a book. And this book is about choice. Going through life and making choices. And what these choices means. Now, the interesting thing with this, and excuse me, I got to take another drink. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. So this whole thing is about choice. And he chooses to do this or that, as in the game developer. And the point is, he gets so bogged down in these choices that it's that's where he's having issues. He's inputting all this information and doing all of these choices, this choice or that, this choice or that, this choice or that because he's having all these options, the programming software that he's using is having a hard time keeping everything straight, and he keeps getting bugs in the program. He keeps getting fatal errors that's shutting the thing down, okay? this or that, this or that, this or that. Now that's important with the this or that, because as you're watching this show, there is a symbol that pops up. And this is a symbol that actually pops up in a season 2 episode entitled White Bear. Now let me go ahead and show you what that symbol is. I got to show you this. It's this right here. It's that symbol. And this is something that pops up in it. Okay? And whenever you see this in White Bear, it doesn't really mean anything. You know, it's got no underlying meaning in it whatsoever. But in this, you come to find out that it does have a meaning. And it's intriguing where, you know, like basically looking at it of where it comes from, because this is also something that the author of the book, Bandersnatch, of what the video game that he's making is based off of, that this is like with him kind of losing his mind and going through a mental breakdown. This is one of the symbols that he draws repeatedly. And the guy who's making the video game that the story is based off of, in the beginning doesn't have any idea what this symbol means, but it's that symbol. Okay? And as he's looking at his, I forget what it's like, the brainstorm map or whatever of him actually drawing out on paper what this video game is as far as the different choices and everything else that you can make, he's looking at that tree that he's drawing, and it clicks in his mind what that symbol is. A symbol for choice. Do you do this? Yes or no? In essence, that's what this symbol is. It's a yes or a no. Now, through one of the storylines, you kind of, you know, he figures out, you know, breaking the fourth wall, he figures out that he's being controlled by an outside source. Things end up happening, okay? And you get to a point to where you complete the show, the movie, and it ends with him fixing the errors in it by basically eliminating choice and more or less making a video game that doesn't actually have choice, but it is the illusion of choice, and he himself decides where the story is going. You don't. You, as the player, has the illusion of choice, but you really don't have a choice. And I found that intriguing whenever they, you know, talk about that and bring that up. I mean, how often is it through our own lives that it almost seems like we have a choice, but we really don't? You know, that decisions are made for us, and we just kind of go along with it. That yes, we may have the illusion of choice, but in the end, everything's decided for us. It's kind of outside our control. How often through life do we have that same type of dilemma? I'm sure that if we stop and think about it and analyze our own lives, we'll kind of have that same type of reaction that, yeah, are you really in control? Which, you know, this is one of the things that came up in this with the symbolism tagging to White Bear. And on this, it is a, you know, do you think you're in control? Or, yeah. Do you think you're in control? Again, interesting thought exercise on that. I mean, holy crap. It really gets you thinking. Boy, howdy. But this thing gets to a point towards the end where it's like, holy crap, this is ridiculous. This is funny. This is insane. I mean, of course, this is awesome. Now, again, some of the decisions that I made were like a logical step in this. No, I don't want him to do that. It doesn't make any sense for him to do that. And then in other times, I was making choices that were based off of, let's see what happens. let's do this. Of course we're going to do this. We're playing, we're having fun. We're just going to see what happens if we do this. And that's whenever some ridiculous stuff ends up happening. It's like, holy cow, this is amazing. This is fun. You know, now, I have no idea how long this thing actually was. I mean, I was probably watching this thing for a good 2 hours. I mean, I am sure that I was, if not a little bit longer. Okay? There are so many choices to make. And I tell you what, I want to go back through this episode or this movie, Bandersnatch, and I want to make some different choices. Again, I wrote down all my choices. I really did. I didn't think it was going to be that in depth with the kinds of choices that it was going to give you, but I want to do some things different and see just what happens. Because I want to test that theory that I have that no matter what you truly choose, the choice is an illusion. They've already decided how this story is going to play out. Interesting movie concept. I can't recommend this one enough. This is just an amazing bonus movie to an already epic series. It really is. They did a good job with this one. Wow. Watch it once, watch it twice, heck, watch it 3 times. Who knows? You may get different results. You may not. The only thing you can do is try. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I really do. Play with this one. Have fun with it. I know I will. This was absolutely epic. So that's all I got for you guys. Y'all have yourself a great one. And next, we are going to be going into season 5 of Black Mirror, covering that one. This one actually is going to be a short season. It's only 3 episodes, so it shouldn't take us that long. So that's all I got for y'all. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next video or podcast. Thank you for listening to the Black Mirror Podcast. If you would like to join the conversation, you can comment on this episode at Spreaker.com or go to thehohoshow.com/forum in the discussion board for this season.